Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good. There was one thought I have. There was one thought I had about this implementation here that we did. So we set shroud X, shroud Y, and then draw pixel X, Y. X, Y, radar min, radar Y, X, Y, X, Y. I wonder if it really makes sense to give the possibility to provide the surface region here and begin set shroud level, because let's say we did set a custom region there, then would this still be working here? This here or not? Red point map. Maybe it doesn't make sense to provide this. Yeah, let me remove that. I think this will cause issues with this here. Yeah, this doesn't seem healthy. Yeah, let me remove that. I think that's too risky. Although I remember we tested it with a full region and then it worked. We didn't test it with a partial region. Okay, then I will do, I will remove this here. This. And this, and this, and this. And this. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, then we also need to go to radar and remove it here as well. Okay, let's see if that compiles. Okay, was there anything new here? I think it was pretty quiet overnight. Yeah, not much happened here. Let's take a look at this guy here. Even if the report quality is poor, getting the mini dumps can still help. Also, getting the crash location and the dialog should allow faster duplicate closing, though in the end. Nice. Do we already have a... Maybe we just give it a different general secrets. Maybe we just create a new repository. Generals box. Yeah. Repository for user bug reports. Player. Maybe perhaps instead we could implement the service that uploads the mini dump to a server. Yeah, I think if the mini dump was uploaded to the server, then we wouldn't even need to rely on user reports to upload their crash dumps, right? Okay, so this has compiled. Then I will take this, I'll make a fix subcommit on this one. Fix up. After rethinking this, I removed the surface region argument from this function because it would not have worked correctly. Okay, a subregion. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it makes sense to create a new repository now. If we could auto upload the mini dumps, it would be the best. Extract crash location. Last error dump is empty. Buffer size. Writes into buffer size before testing size 0. Skip leading white space. Maybe you can use space function. std is space. Maybe you can use space function. Skip if no content or contains unknown. Core stack unknown. If I'm not mistaken, a call stack can contain unknown in there. Can you show me a real C++ debug call stack that contains unknown symbols as well as known symbols? Unknown. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But okay, this one only refers to like some file. Yeah. Let me just ask him. Can you show us? Can you show a sample for an acoustic for real acoustic containing unknown? Basically, I'm asking because I wonder if acoustic can partly contain unknown, but still be useful. To be useful otherwise. Max line length. Where does this 400 limit come from? How does this come to be? Yeah, I don't understand why there's this limit. Skip leading white space. I'm really confused by this function here. Yeah, can you show a sample for what G contains? Right now I would like to see what is in here, because I find this really weird here. Yeah, but maybe it's okay. Reason. Okay. That looks really hard to read here. Game crash. Okay, but looks alright. There's a printf p and minus p. Okay, cool. Okay, I think I agree with this approach. Looks okay. 2560. Can you show? Can you show can you post an image? Crash dialog. Crash info. Crash info. Okay. Crash dump. Okay. I guess it's fine, yeah. So basically on this call stack he appends the call stack as well, and then the release it only appends a crash dump location and where to report the issue. Yeah. Okay, I think that's fine, yeah. Now I still am suspicious about this path here, but like showing where the dump is put and crash report. That looks good. Crash info path. Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. Okay, overall I think it goes into a good direction, like showing like these folders here. I think that's useful. Removing the EA stuff is reasonable. Showing the call stack as well is useful, I would say. This one, yeah, I'm still skeptical of. I think it would be better to automatically upload it to some server instead, and not ask the user to post it anywhere, because that just creates chaos. Otherwise, yeah, in this function, I think it looks a bit over-engineered here. I wonder if like this could be simplified a lot. Like I don't understand why there's this 400 character limit. Like here it talks about lines, but then there's just one copy here, essentially at the end. Like I don't understand. Ah, no, it's in a loop? No, it's not in a loop. I don't understand what's going on here. Extract crash location. Like I would have expected down here some loop that gets line after line. Or I don't understand what's going on here with this function. Maybe it's all good and well, but yeah. Either I would need to debug this or he appends some additional information, like what is actually in the string here, because I don't know. Yeah. that best after implementing. Yeah, sure, we can revisit that in the future. Okay, then generals. How about generals crashes? Generals crash reports. Player crash reports. Visibility public. Off. License MIT. For player crash reports. I created a empty repo for crash reports. Okay. Okay, no clue what that beeping was. Good. So blah 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 blah. Crash reports. Okay. Good. Let's take a look at this guy here. I'm innocent 3x wants to have hitboxes for buildings with box geometry, preventing the building to take damage without being hit. Okay, it's been in review since a week or so. Okay, there's a lot of discussion here. Okay, I would say I let them keep review this. Seems that they are busy doing that. Author, I am innocent 3x. He has a few things open. This one doesn't compile. Okay, so this one is being reviewed, this one as well. Changes requested. Okay, there's no review here. Let's take a look at that. To use the features, retail compatible draw update must be set to 0. The feature is retail X for compatible, but might require checking. Retail compatible draw update can be removed once a check is done. What does it mean with check? Game client informs whenever a new drawable has been registered or a drawable has moved. If the drawable is within the screen region, it will be registered onto a drawable list. The list is reset every time the camera moves or a stealthed object has been detected or a unit has transitioned a disguise. Resetting means it will reiterate the drawable list from the first and registered drawable that fits the screen onto the list. Oh, he touched W3D view. That's not what I like to say because I'm also touching it a lot. Oh, it's a big change. Used for selecting. Edit functional comments the selection region onto a radius and gets its center. Then uses partition manager to define list of drawables within the region. Has a configured minimum iterate radius of 200 units as a requirement. Select airborne units when selecting with a small region. Iterate drawable. Drawables and region. 3 options can be configured in game data. Use partition manager to iterate drawables. This attempts to use partition manager to iterate drawables for both. Sort of required to iterate through all drawables. Use partition manager to iterate drawables. Only select. This limits the above function to only 3D view and not game client. Technical for game client only that registers the drawals that are iterated. Only to iterate through the registered drawals. Okay, so the first question I have is why are there 3 different modes? To me, I would expect that there's just one way that this works, just to keep it simple. Because if you have 3 different ways of doing this thing, then you have to maintain these 3 things. And what if one of these is broken? Then you need to first figure that out and then fix it. So, I'm a bit confused by that. Partition manager iterates through borders of the screen. Instead of the whole screen region, define your drawables that fits onto the screen and registers them to the list. Things at position also registers the object's drawables onto the list. Uses the selection area. Draw update is retail CSC compatible, but might need more checking. That looks weird. Interior. Wheel to ends. Interior. But I keep the real casts. Draw this region. Stuff updates. Okay, so what I notice is that it adds a lot of complexity. So this better be worth it. Okay, I just glanced over it, and I see it does add quite a bit of complexity. The first question here is, does the game still work normally? Does the game and world builder still work entirely normal? The second question is how much gains does this bring? Let me ask, the second question is, how big are the performance gains here? If you can, please provide milliseconds frame ms time comparison. Some of the code needs cleaning. No commented code and no commented and compiled out code should be left. And is at the mercy of other systems properly registering new drawbles, registering and unregistering new drawbles. Game client is now at the mercy of other systems properly registering and unregistering drawballs. creates a copy of std list. Inefficient. Is this modified? No. So where are these different modes that he was talking about? Maybe it was only in the bug reports. Yeah. Update efficient. Yeah. Set position Z. Okay, that's weird. For this looks really risky here. For get troubles in region. So it constructs these here. I'm not sure about this here. Donates. Yeah. Oh, Use partition manager to find drawbacks within a region. Yeah, what did the original do again? W3D view, iterate drawables in region. What does this do? Screen region. Oh boy. Where's the function? Here. Yeah, so we give it the region and it goes through all drawables to check if it is within the region. Drawable iterate list. Drawable to efficient list. It really adds a lot of complexity. Yeah, I have my doubts on this. Like, I mean, if we can confirm that that works without bugs, then this would already be good. and then confirm that it gives nice performance gains, and that would be good as well. So these two conditions need to be met first, and then it needs a cleaning, and then the code needs to be studied. Yeah, and it looks quite a bit delicate. So, yeah. Performance major Gen ZH. Okay. Crash reports. Okay. Okay. This is labels system. I know. Good. Then let me see what Baptista wrote here. I just asked Claude about the PR. MFC provides DLL main. CRT provides the stub. Link order is wrong. CRT stub gets linked before MFC can provide its version. The change makes GIOS core IOS resources. And resources a static library. This pulls in CRT object files. The fix before, after. I already tested by reverting. Claude is wrong. I already tested with reverting always lip changes and just adding pre-comp header to core utility. Yeah, I mean, it's to me it's plausible that Claude would not understand what the problem is either, because it would need to understand like what exactly the linker is doing, and it can probably also only guess what would be the cause, or what based on the information it has, and it probably doesn't understand like what exactly the linker does, right? Good. Let me go back to that change. Where was this? This one. Or this one. This one. Yeah. Let's open. Let's open CMake, RTS. Let's enable 0-hour tools. Generate. Yeah. So basically here I added the include to core to this one here, core utility. There we added the CPP macros header. That will include directories. Regarding this one here. Let's make current source there. Let's add that here. Current source there. Okay, I already saw the error up here. There we go. There must be a solution to this problem. Why are we so retarded? I think the longer if we spend more time looking at this, we will eventually figure it out. It's just a matter of time. So, so we just need to reserve a lot of time for this, and then figure it. Okay, let's think about this. I mean, we didn't really change much, right? We added this precompiled header thing, and that's it. It's an interface. Let me see. I have some idea. So in Particle Editor, basically we only did some refactorings in here. Nothing suspicious, right? So nothing really changed. The only thing that changed in the Particle Editor is that now this one has a precompiled headers. That's it. Nothing else. Well, hold on. Maybe that's not true. Let's check the other. Let's go to particle. Let's go to Z Particle Editor. So it has core config. We didn't touch that. Core debug, core profile. Let's look at these guys. Here. We did touch profile. We also added there, but this one is private. Debug, same thing. Good. So that shouldn't have any effects. We didn't touch these guys. We didn't touch that. And not that and not that. We didn't touch. So the only thing that was touched is core utility, which is part of, where is it? It's not in here. Shouldn't it be in here? Okay, that's unexpected. Core, let me add core utility here. Let's see if that changes anything. It's very strange. It's not even linking utility. So really nothing should have changed for the particle editor. But maybe I am mistaken. So let's see. This one. So we changed this, yes. Game engine, we don't care. I mean, this change is really minimal. It is really minimal. Yeah. That's a mystery. Let's see what this does. Failed. Still the same error. Okay, so let's say in utility, core utility, let's say we remove this again. Then we probably will get a bunch of compile errors now. Let's see. Okay, so we get a lot of compile errors now. let's do the following. We put back the includes here. Debug.h. Debug.h. We put that back for now. And then base type core. Put that back. And internal STL utils. And Indian compat. That's it. Okay, let's compile that. That should compile now. Let's see what... basically, I'm trying now to try to narrow down which exact change the CMake causes this behavior. To see like which one exactly. Like if we can figure out, okay, it's this one edit introduces this behavior, then it's easier to go from there, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got a comment under one of the YouTube videos, one of the older ones. Someone wrote, "Nobody will watch you shit to our video." Oh, that's funny. Well, it's quite okay. I don't think I would watch my videos either, because yeah, it would be just so much content. Like I wouldn't be able to follow that. Nobody has time for that. I think it's better to spend the time on fixing the game. Yeah. So if you have the choice between fixing the game and watching my videos, you better spend that time fixing the game. If it's anything else, then better watching my videos. Yeah. Like, you know, if you have to make the decision between porn and watching my videos, better watch my videos, I would say. Yeah. Otherwise, the best you can do is fix the game. Yeah. Okay, so that compiles. Okay, that is interesting. So then let's go back to our favorite core utility. Yeah. And then we add this header again. Yeah. And now we compile again. Interesting. I think core utility is already added through ZI always. That also adds core utility. That's why this is not needed explicitly here. Yeah. Okay, well, it's no harm. We can remove it again. Yeah, so core utility is in here by this thing already. And that fails. Look at that. Look at that. Oh boy. Okay, so adding the precompiled header to core utility. Okay. Okay, with that I can work. Let's open here ChatGPT. Here, linker error. Pixtron, yes. Okay. I narrowed the problem coming from adding the cpp macros.h as precompiled header to core utility interface, which is then linked by the Z particle editor shared library. So we have these guys, and then particle editor. Let me add this core utility here so that it can see it. As adding the utility cpp macros as precompiled header to core utility interface, which is then linked by the Z particle editor shared library. Why does this happen? This is an excellent find. Thank you very much, good sir. It finally explains the last hidden mechanism in your build. What you're seeing is 100% expected once you know how MSVC precompiled header plus interface targets work. Short version, then the deep reason. Short answer, because MSVC precompiled headers compile the header into an object. Any pragma command, legacy CRT macro, or VC6 compatibility switch inside becomes an embedded linker directive. Legacy CRT macro, V6 compatibility switch. There is no pragma command in there. When you attach that PCH via an interface library, every consumer sign inherits those directives. That is why the problem appears only when PCH is enabled. The linker option appears nowhere in CMake. Removing the PCH makes the problem disappear. Target interface is special. This line means every target that links to core utility must compile this header as a PCH. So Z particle editor now builds its object with something equivalent to that. When MSVC builds a PCH, it compiles the header once. It produces PCH. Implicitly linked into the DLL. Your header is a VC6 error macro header. That tells me exactly what's inside. Yeah, of course, it tells you exactly. Very likely. No, it does not. No. Let me give him what's actually inside. CPP macro, but it looks like to me that ChatGPT is just coming up with bullshit now. CPP macros.h contains this. Oh, that makes him think. Very good sanity check. Important correction. CPP macros itself does not directly cause. Yep. You're absolutely right to be suspicious here. There are no linker pragmas. Yes. So why does adding it as an interface trigger the problem? The answer is subtle and very MSVC specific. The real reason, tell me, it is not what's inside. Yeah, it's what becomes visible because it is a PCH. When you make this header an interface, compiles it first, uses it as a prefix header for every consuming translation unit, freezes. Language mode, macro state, blah, blah, blah. This changes how downstream headers are passed. The key mechanism you just triggered. The PCH is compiled before any CPP includes. It is compiled before these guys. So the PCH becomes a root context. What actually causes to appear? You link against that. Headers. No. But the PCH flips those conditions, changes. No, it's just making up bullshit now here. I think AI cannot say, I don't know. There is no such concept in AI. It just makes something up, right? Funny. Yeah, I think all this is bullshit here. I could imagine that, yeah, a precompiled header, you put this in there, and then that somehow changes the way that the library is generated, right? So it's suddenly it has a precompiled header, and then it triggers this different mode here where it then conflicts with one or more multiple defined symbols, right? So yeah, I mean, that matches our observation basically. So the question is why? How do we mitigate this? Okay, so I don't understand we see the cause. Okay, that's good. I don't understand the mechanism of the precompiled header that causes this behavior. I just don't know. Like this is just black box to me. Like we can't say. The linker is doing things. That's what we can tell. We know that it's MFC specific and MSVC runtime debug. So these two libs, they are colliding somehow. Okay, what happens? Let's make another test. Let's go to utility, yeah. And then here we copy this, and then we take it out, and then we go to our particle editor. Yeah. And then we add this guy in here. Yeah. Here. Let's see what that would do. Build Linux. Linux. What do we currently have in there? Build Linux. Scripts. Docker build sh. Docker build. Maybe rename build Linux. Build Linux to Docker builds Linux. The other script to Docker build Linux install the game. Docker buildings install the game. Be clearer that is a Linux Docker builds, and the install script is for that Linux builds. Okay. Okay, that also fails. Okay. So just adding this precompiled header already fails it. Okay. Well. Interesting. Okay, so adding the precompiled header fails this build. STL port is no factor here. It's doing nothing. STL port is not the library is empty. You change how it decides runtime model. Okay. Target precompiled headers. My interface makes it explode. Yeah, it's not. It's also not related to interface. No early language mode decision is frozen. Yeah, it has something to do with like how it generates a library when there's a precompiled header. That's for sure. But do not use this header as a PCH. Private. Well, you should never put a PCH. Redefinitions. I don't know. It's just making up bullshit here. Food gun. So stupid. Okay. How do we? What can we try here? So we know that this causes a we put that as interface here. Let's make it private. Let's try this again. Okay, also still fails. Oh boy. Why is this problem so difficult? Man. What can we do here? So the problem is we have a MSVC runtime and MFC. The runtime is probably coming through one of these guys here. Yeah, WinMM or whatever. And particle editor. Let's think about this. libci, blah, 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 include res, must be first. Editor must be first. Particle editor, CPP macros. Why is this causing? Okay, let's do the following. We take this error here and we put it in search and we search for this already. Yeah, let's just search for this error. Okay, I already clicked on there, but none of the answers here solved it. If you encounter that problem when creating a DLL, can be resolved by entering the following line, extern C. Okay. Okay, how about we take this guy and we put that into Particle Editor CPP. I think I already tested this. Let's test it again. Doesn't work. fx.h. Fix. Find the symbol. Yeah. If def x2. Okay, that looks different. Okay, let's take that. Is this defined? x86. Doesn't work. The linker links a number of compiled objects and libraries together to get the binary. If two objects define the same symbol, you get exactly this linker error. In your case, both these and these define this. Getting rid of the error. Find out which of both libraries you actually need. Find out how to tell the linker not to use one the other one. FCS ADD lib. Macro. If def user DLL. If def user DLL. So it turns out there's a single condition that governs the linkage. And that condition is user DLL being defined. Our linking project was indeed a DLL, and somehow the default user DLL preprocessor was missing from it. Okay. Then how about we take this guy and put that here. AFX DLL and user DLL. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's see what happens. Nope. That doesn't work. What happens if we remove AFX DLL? I guess then we get some different error. So let's say we remove this whole thing. Oh boy. Okay, that fails with all sorts of compile errors now. So that seems not healthy. What happens if we just do user DLL? Let's see what happens then. Instead of AFX DLL. I'm just experimenting now. Try and error. But I expect that will fail as well. The CPP macros file, let me take a look at this again. So we only include utility. That's it. So it's really lightweight. Nothing in here. Really. Yeah, okay. So this also fails, yeah. No, I don't think we can do that. So it is an AFX DLL, and I think that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, I still don't understand. What else can we try? Let's take a look at this here. How can this ever not be a problem? Well, zero time DLL is smart enough to use trickery to protect itself. Blah blah goods. Otherwise, none of our user DLL components that define their own version of this function could ever bind with a C runtime. This linker error can still be a problem though, because the MFC libraries do not protect themselves from the possibility. They must think that anyone ever wrote pure MFC components would that would never include any other library. I think I already asked ChatGPT if there's a way. Can we prevent MSVCRT from adding DLL main? I think I already asked that, and he said no. No. Normally does not add one. I think I could not use a normal CRT startup path. A fallback stub object. Okay, how will we prevent it from adding this fallback stub object? It's not configurable. It's not optional. Oh boy. Why the stub appears? If the stub appears, the build is already broken. I see. Oh boy. The build is already broken. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's such a shame. Okay, why is it broken then? Core utility profile debug profile debug profile debug profile. So maybe it's already something that is bad here, but it's just that this triggers the actual issue or makes it worse. But the actual issue is already here in our linked libs. That some of these cause troubles. So let's say we were to remove these two and all of this. Well, then probably will fail to compile, right? Yeah. So let's see what happens now on compile. It fails with the same error. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, how about we remove all of these things? Man, this is really a tough problem. We can't add a precompiled header to this shared DLL. Why? It's outrageous. Okay, game client. Okay, let me re-add this one. Generate stamp. Very common. Okay, let's slowly re-add what we need here. Maybe it's not related to other libs in there. Okay, let's put these guys back here. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. We have removed a lot of dependencies here, and it still has this error. So really, there's not much going on here. We have a bunch of source files. We have MFC, AFX. What is inside core config? Few CMakes. Okay, this one I think just sets a bunch of defines. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Boy, this is a tough problem. Ensure all objects are built with a compatible runtime. I think we are good on this, and the main CRT startup is used. No, default lib. Okay, let's try this here. I think I already did try that in the past. Let's do that again. Fails. Nope, that doesn't work. I think I also tried this already. It didn't work. It doesn't recommend it. Let's try it again. I'm desperate, so try anything, yeah? Chat can suggest all sort of bullshit. I will try it. What you must not try. If a CRT DLL main appears at all, it's a diagnostic symptom, not a feature. The only correct fix is to make the linker happy enough that it never reaches the fallback path. You've already identified the real trigger. Removing or localizing that PCH is the correct resolution. Removing? Yeah, I don't want to remove it. I don't want to remove, I want to add it. My gosh. CPP macros. Okay, can we... Precompile headers. Precompile headers. Okay, that gives us even more errors. That's not nice. Target precompile headers. Oh boy. There must be some way to fix this. But how? So AI is not a great help here. Particle Editor, private. So we do have other projects that also include that also use AFXDL. So we have Babylon, which is an executable. Debug window is also a shared library, and that one doesn't have the problem. It includes core config. Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. This one, it doesn't include core utility. Let's add here core. Yeah, let me try the following. We take particle editor. Yeah, and we take this guy and we put that into debug window or W3D view even, but that's not shared library. These are executables. Yeah, let's go here, this guy, and then we add this in here. Yeah, debug window. And then we go to core tools, generate. Let's see what that does. Let's see if debug window also fails. Now my expectation is yes. One fails. Huh. So did it actually build debug window or not? Core. Oh, we need to wait until it's reloaded this. Okay, let me take a look at this change here. Okay, not a current random value. Current random value. Yeah, current random. And synchronize. Yeah, that's not so satisfying either. Perhaps get logic. Get logic. Get game logic. Random value. No. No. No change. Without change. No modify. Get game logic, random value, no mod, no receipts. Or random value unchanged. Value unchanged. I think that's not too bad. Good. Let's take a look at this guy. So, cannot open. Okay, so we get a compile error now in debug window. Cannot open include file. Okay, because it does not know about core utility. So let's add this here. Yeah. Let's retry this. Let's see what happens. Let's add a bunch of reactions here. Clap. Heart. Let's add the monkey. Party. I will add all the smileys. Someone can extend the list of smileys. Apache GPL licenses. Non-commercial. Cool. Okay, so now we have two failed projects. Yeah, okay, so the same error is now on debug window here, but it's different. No, it's the same. There we go. It's the same bullshit here. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, both have the same problem now. Okay, so the error is consistent. Fantastic. Yeah, good. Then let's revert this. That's all we needed to know. Good. So adding the precompiled header will make this fall apart. God damn it. Okay, let's do a bit more internet searching here. Yeah. So let's go back here. Let's check this guy. Verbose lib. Blah blah. DI main is defined twice in MFC and VC runtime, but that is all the information we can extract from here. So I did some further experimentation that finally removed a couple files containing AFX managed state from the project. And it solved the problem. AFX managed state affects something that causes the linker error. It's here, yeah. Okay, but it's used everywhere. It's everywhere. Call into MFC must have AFX managed state macro added to the very beginning of the function. Ugh, okay. Couple files containing this from the project and solved the problem. Well, but maybe it causes other problems then. Got some annoying warning about this. It's not clear what should do. Okay, this guy has no clue what he's doing. Dimitriano. Hi guys, I got some frustrating problem, blah blah, blah blah. I will be right back. Okay, so Lines 3D, free game. What is that? Lines 3D. Oh, okay. There are a lot of blocks here that have this problem. I think we already saw this as well. This didn't help. Google Groups. Let's see that. Pragma comment lib. Solved. Experts exchange. Zero AI policy. Wow. Poor AIs. The MFC has its own structure. Blah, 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 blah. Create an account? Nah. Codeguru.com. Not using precompiled headers. Yeah. Yeah. Not using precompiled headers. Okay, maybe it's just implicitly broken, MFC broken with precompiled headers. Maybe it just never worked. But why? Why is it so bad? Precompiled headers. AFX DLL. Pragma. Pragma Commons. Okay, so it's including afx.h, which will then do the linking. Does it here? Okay, interesting. And then it also links this here. Yeah. Okay, so it's including afx.h, which then links against this MFC lib and this MSVCRT lib. So yeah. Let me do the following search. AFX and precompiled headers. Let me start a new chat. Is AFX compatible with precompiled headers? MFC. Yes, fully compatible. MFC was designed to be used with them. cdafx.h is the precompiled header. Okay, what about if we put this stdafx, which is probably inside here? Yeah, it has an stdafx. How about we put this into the precompiled header as well? Would that maybe help? Let's see. No, does not. That's a shame. Let's say we remove this one here and just have stdafx in there. What happens then? Okay. That also fatal error, one or more multiply defined symbols found. Yeah, same error. Okay, so it's not that. Must be the first include. Okay. Then okay, how about is there a way in CMake to disable precompiled headers? Is there a way in CMake to disable precompiled headers? Disable precompiled headers if an interface had it already added after the interface library after disable precompiled headers for a library after linked interface library had it already added. Yes, you can disable or neutralize. Okay, cool. Show me. When an interface library does that, yeah. And a target links it, inherits. CMake does not have a simple off switch, so you must overwrite them. Property, precompile headers. This overrides all inherited PCH, including those coming from interface library. Properties. Okay, how about we do output name, prefix, and then precompile headers. That I always. Then let's go to let's go to core utility. We add that, and then we say here this MFC. This MFC. This MFC AFX library cannot use MFC AFX cannot use precompiled headers. Okay, then we remove this, and then we see what happens. And then we add this stdafx.h. Then here we add include utility cpp macros.h. Then we do the same in sdafx for debug window. Yeah, same bullshit. Let's add core debug window. Then here we do core E always. Okay, let's see if that works. We still need to do here properties debug window. Fails. Oh, still doesn't work. What? Didn't we just remove? What's the problem here? Okay, maybe this doesn't work. Maybe we need to do this one here. Let's go. Let's go back to Particle Editor. Let's see if this works or not. Okay, that also doesn't work. Okay. Overrides all, including those coming from interface libraries. Option 2, override with an empty. Let's try that. Okay, let's try that. So I have that particle editor. Let's move this to the bottom here. And still fails. Still fails. Oh boy. Override is empty. Target compile options. Compiler level control. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's put that here. Compile definitions, compile options. If MSVC okay, let's try that. Also still fails. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, for some reason it has trouble disabling. Okay, then you control the interface library? I do. Consumers can opt out cleanly. Interface. PCH.h. Okay, how about we do core utility. So then let's add a core utility no PCH. Which essentially will add the same stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we have this. Okay, then we go to ZI always. And then we add ZI always no PCH as well. ZI always no PCH. How about we say that I always quiet. Okay, how about we add here core I always, then we remove that and that. Must let's add this comment here, must stay below, so headers from game. Then we take this and make a copy and no PCH, no PCH. do no PCH. Then we go to core E always. No PCH. Core utility, no PCH. Blah, 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 resources, okay. Okay. And then we go to, what is inside resources lib? Add library, resources, static, git info. I see. Git info. Static. Okay, I guess it doesn't hurt. Okay, I think this one is going into the right direction. So now we have ZI always. So ZI always particle editor is now included here. I think we can also move core config in core E always. Yeah. But there can be a separate change. Okay, then we remove this garbage here again. And so now it should have no PCH. If we add here no PCH, yeah, there we go. Okay, and then, so that should compile now. Let's do the same for the debug window. Debug core E always debug window. There we go. No PCH. Or we can just we can, let's just do that. Good, then let's compile this. My expectation is that this now compiles. If it doesn't, then I will flip my table. Yeah. Okay, there still is a compile error. What is it? Okay, but I think we're making progress here. So our rule now is no PCH on AFX projects that are a shared library. That's banned. Yeah. Maybe we can also add a comment here. Use this for MFC for shared libs with MFC AFX. Always no PCH. Okay, so include CPP macros, cannot open source file. Okay. Okay, so this change, let's see. So random value unchanged, okay, blah, blah, unchanged. Let's look at the whole change. This is a whole change, okay. Blah, blah, logical audio unchanged. This function does not change the seed values with retake compatibility disabled. Consecutive calls always return the same value. Is retake compatibility disabled? Ah, yeah, okay. That makes sense, yeah. Debug random logic. Okay. Okay, cool. Seed. Why does it need to create a copy of this? Seed. Size of seed. What is this? The game logic seed. I guess because it modifies it, I suspect, random value. Okay. It will modify it. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So he must copy it. Yeah, okay. He must copy this because this function will modify the seed. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. And so this, otherwise it's the same as what this is doing here. Yeah. delta plus low rval. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Rval. Okay. Good. I think that makes sense. Here we have another one. Real unchanged, and this is integer. Real. Yeah. The mult factor. Okay. Okay, cool. Decay to play. Let's not change this here. Logic is logical audio. Needs to be logic because it needs to be the same on all systems. I wonder, this logical audio flag, how's this set? Logical audio. Who's setting this? Here is set is logical audio. Set is logical audio. Yeah, that seems to be the one. Let's see who's calling this. Do play sound effect. Do play scripts. Okay, it's only used in scripts. Do sound from named. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I would say it's better to say at yeah, bug fix would need to be in here. I think it's fine. Let it be like that. Looks good. He does have, yeah, if retake compatible with CSC, then it just does what the original game did. Okay, fantastic. There's still an open to do here, so I wonder what's up with that. But the change already looks good to me as is, but maybe there's something more, I don't know. So this is about stability. Milestone, major bug fixes. Bug. Good. Let's see what's up now with our change here. No compile errors. Cool. No compile errors. Fantastic. So we have now this always no PCH, blah, blah. Utility, blah, resources, okay. Core E always. Then let's clean up here again. We reset this again, and this, and this. And this. So then we have these two includes here. Then we remove this. Then let me review the AFX DLL again. AFX DLL. And so this one is a executable. This one as well. This is an executable. This one is a shared lib. Babylon is also executable. That's it. Okay, so it's only the particle editor and the debug window that are DLLs that use MFC, and we don't care about the PCH to avoid the problems. Okay, good. That works. Then so it looks like okay, so let's see if this now compiles with VC6 or not. So we go to game code. No, let's open here CMD. Then we do that, and we do this, and then we do a VC6 clean. There we go. Good. Let's see what this is doing now. It'll take a bit. Good. Then okay, let's close here all this bullshit here. Okay. I was prepared for options for this, but unclear to me if this solves anything. I also tested with forcing shroud texture to different format, but surface still reported to be when the texture was created with A4. It only broke when I tried R3 G3 B2, but no idea it did break. Good. Let's see what's up here. And that has failed. Oh boy. Particle Editor. Cannot open include file, utility, CPP, macros. Cannot open include file, CPP, macros.h. Okay. Did I misspell it or? stdafx particle editor include cannot open source file. That's for generals, isn't it? No, it's for 0 hour. Okay, what's the problem now? Utility cpp macros.h cannot be included. Why? Particle editor. So let's comment these out as well, and this. I always know PCH. Ugh. Let me take this guy. GI always, no PCH, okay. GI always, no PCH. Okay, let's take this and put this here. No PCH. Okay. Let's double check that it compiles here. Oh, this goddamn CMake shit. Oh, man. Someone make this easier, please. Well, that's what the AIs are for, right? Vibe codes. Please build me my generals game. Best game. No bugs. Best performance. Do it now. Then it works for 1 minute and then the game is done. And then everyone can go home. That would be too easy. Where's the fun in that? We want to struggle, right? Life is only worth living if there is a struggle that you can overcome. All right? Otherwise, what will you be proud of? Nothing. If there's no hardship, then there's only pleasure. Good, so this compiled, interestingly. I don't know why I get the wiggly line here. Boy. Arch Linux. The monkey is here. That's funny. Okay. Then let's compile again. Yeah. Let's go. Maybe better luck on the second try. No. Good thing is that the VC6 compile is very fast. Very fast. It rips through the files. Okay, looking very promising. Yeah. No. Error. Oh boy. Hash map. Okay, that's fair. It's because I removed. That's fair. That's fair. Let's go to Particle Editor. Shared. Let's put back the STL port here. 1 and 2. Okay. And then compile again. There still is an error. Overloaded function differs only by return type. Error, syntax error. Velocity type panels. Velocity type panels. Error, syntax error. Okay, I'm not so sure what the problem here is. Error colon. Okay. Error colon. Okay, I don't understand this right now. Let's go higher up. Here. Aha. MD. Fatal error. Cannot open include file cpp macros.h. Aha. Okay, why? Why not? It's we have zi always, no pch, which includes core I always, no pch, which then has core utility, no pch. Yeah. Add library, core utility interface. That should work. That should work. Why is it not working? Man. Utility cpp macros.h. Cannot open include file. Why not? Why not? Why not? It works here. Interface. See my current source there. Core I always, no pch. Yeah, I don't know why this is a problem here. Channels MD. Hold on. Let me do a CLS here. Maybe I was looking at old problems. Okay, let's look at this. So G Particle Editor. Okay. We didn't add, hold on. std fx.h for generals. std fx.h particle editor, where is it here? Generals. Aha, that one is not adding include utility cpp macros.h. There we go. I think that will fix the problem. So particle editor, let's reset this one. Core. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that looks better. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, let me post an update here in have workarounds for this now, and we'll open your pull later. Okay, then we delete this branch. Good, so that compiles, fantastic. Then let's clean up what we currently have. So that means we have these guys added, yes. Then let me clean up this shit. So we just remove these guys here. Okay. And here, boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. And then there will be that. GI always okay, cool. Then we have that and that. Take that. Okay. Target include directories. Okay. Macros. Okay. Okay, cool. Then this, let's call this move most, includes the precompiled headers. And now the only remaining thing that we need to look at is, does every project now include this always project? I think they should. So what we do is we go to, we look through all target link libraries, and then we review whether they have this or not. What's the time? 3 hours 40. Maybe I take a break here. We do this next session. Yeah. Let's do that next session. This session is long enough. Good. I think that was a productive session, even though it took us way too long. But yeah, it's a problem. It's really not a problem that is easy to see. Like, yeah, why would MFC AFX not work with precompiled headers? It's something outside of our control. It's just typical MSVC bullshit. Yeah, what can I say about it? Nothing. It just is odd. I noticed that my volume seems quite a bit low here. I wonder if it makes sense to... if I clap the table, you see it hits high high volume. I don't know. Maybe it's too quiet, but the problem is the mic is a bit far away. What about now? Now I'm holding it right. Yeah, that would be better. Maybe the mic is a bit too far away. I have it, it's on a stand and it's on a table, so it's not really in front of the mouth. Here's a mouth, like this. Now I'm really close, very close. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a bit further away. Yeah. But that's okay. Good. Then, yeah, I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.